Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Steve has the day off, so it's Rich in the Philippines who's actually sitting in for him. Today we're going to talk about something that's close to my heart, and that's things that make our life easier here in the Philippines. And this one, I have really worked on making this work for me, and I believe it can work for you, and I'd love to hear your thoughts. I've talked about apps before. Apps that we should load before we leave America, and apps that we load while we're in the Philippines. This happens to be an app that we load when we're in the Philippines. And I've talked about, whether it's the VPN, I've talked about a host, whether it's BDO Online or whatever. This is one of my favorites that we haven't talked about in depth, and that's GCash. I personally love GCash. I have a great relationship with GCash. I'm going to knock wood. I have yet to have a bad story happen to me about GCash. GCash has made my life easier here in the Philippines. GCash, I don't like waiting in line. I guess that's where we should start. I have a challenge with American impatience, or just my impatience. I'm working on it, trust me. And here in the Philippines, you have to work on your patience because you will need your patience. GCash can help you. So how I stumbled across GCash is that I had to pay my water bill one day when I first moved in here to Trece. And the line was 25 minutes long. It was two separate queues. One queue outside and one queue inside. And what's really frustrating about that queue and about that bill, my water bill was 210 pesos. And so I think that's $3 and something cents. And I waited 25 minutes to pay a $3 bill. And some of my friends I've talked to about this subject have stated that, what's the big deal, Richard? I have nothing but time on my hands, so, I don't care if I wait 25 minutes to pay my water bill. Well, I do. I don't want to wait that long for my muffler to get fixed, as we say in America. Or as I say in America. So GCash is an answer for me. I discovered that I could pay GCash for my water bill. I discovered I could pay GCash for my power bill. I discovered that I could pay GCash for my internet. And those were some of my big hitters here for waiting in the queue, as they say. Whether you're waiting in the mall to pay your Wi-Fi, which on that one I agree wasn't really a big problem. It was actually kind of fun. However, you were again waiting in line to pay a bill. Why do that when you could just punch up some buttons and pay it online? That's on GCash. GCash also ties into a couple of other things that I want to talk about. So there's GCash. And then there's Grab, and then there's Smart. GCash can hit on all of those. You can pay Grab, you could put money in Grab, and if you don't use Grab, because maybe let's say you're in a province or don't go to a big city, Grab is not that big of a deal. But if you go, let's say Manila, to go take care of your visa or any other big city, Grab can be a huge help. Grab is a taxi, and Grab is also food. And what I do is I go to GCash, and from GCash I put money into my Grab, and to Grab I get taxis. And the Grab prices on taxis are really fair, and they're pretty quick, unless it's holidays or an unpopulated area. So GCash, Grab. And then a Grab also does something that I think that Steve can talk more about than me, and that's get food delivered. I have yet in all my years of living in America or living here ever had any food. I mean, I can't even think of a pizza I've had delivered in the last 10 or 15 years. I just like to go get it myself. Other people, millions apparently, love to have food delivered, and Grab is a way. And so you can get that food delivered from GCash by putting money into Grab and then having the food delivered. And the other thing that that GCash can do. What can't it do? I say jokingly. The other thing that it can do is top off your phone. And again, it's one less thing you have to go somewhere to do, or it's one less place you have to go to take care of something. And here, the phones are so affordable, the phone plans. I think I actually prepaid 3 months because I did some traveling, which I'm going to talk about later. And I think it was like 800 or 900 pesos, not even $20 for 3 months. You know, back in America, I had a 3-letter alphabet phone company that $20 would pay you for a week. And so I would like to fly them a special flag, but I can't do it because this is a family channel. Getting back to the subject, because I tend to regress or progress. GCash, Grab, Smart. And then one of the other favorites that I have hooked up to my GCash is Lazada. I haven't done Shopee. I'm more of a Lazada person, so I actually have my GCash hooked up to my Lazada. So when I order my can of chili or my bike part or whatever, I go to Lazada, I find it, touch a button, and it comes out of my GCash. So I don't have to COD it, which is really sometimes not that big of a deal. But again, it's just one more thing. So when you're Lazada, when your parts or your food arrives, they don't have to come hunt you down. They can either leave it at the door or leave it with a neighbor. So again, you know, those are huge things, I believe. Paying bills, Grab, Lazada. And one of the other things that GCash is really good for, and again, we aren't being sponsored by GCash. I'm just telling you an app that can literally make your life easier. Somebody comes to clean your house. Hey, you know, can you pay me 300, 500 pesos? Go to GCash, get their number, put it in, flies off, it's paid for. You want to pay a money to charity here? A lot of them are hooked up to GCash. Put the money, hit the button, and it flies off. So again, those are 4 things that again can make your life easier. Now I know. Let's talk about the other side of this coin. I have heard from many people, and I'd love to hear from you down below, that even Steve talks about this, that GCash can be horrible. GCash kept their money. GCash called them a name. GCash turned them into a newt, but they got better. So I have yet to have a bad thing with GCash. I'm going to knock wood. However, my way around that is that I don't put a ton of money into GCash. And I don't suggest you do that either. So what I do, I load by cash. So I go to a pharmacy, 7-Eleven. You could even do it at Walter Mart. You could do it at SM. But I choose pharmacies because there's no queue. There's no line. And there's usually at one of my pharmacies, there's a machine. If the machine is broken, I go across the street and there's a live person that does it right in for me. And there's only a small fee. On the machine, there's no fee at all until you reach a certain amount. With a person, there's always a small fee. It's like, I don't know, let's just say 20, 30 pesos. It's not very much money for what the service is. And I go there, I put the money that I need, I use it, and then I go back later. So I go to GCash wallet topping off maybe once or twice a month. However, that once or twice a month can handle all of those activities. Again, power, water, internet, taxis, food. It can go to all of that. So with that being said, it's one more thing to help make life better here in the Philippines, easier, less waiting. I would love to hear your thoughts and hear your feedback on GCash. I don't leave very much money in it, and I use it frequently. So I will see you next time. Thanks a lot for watching.